Welcome to Brian's Logic Lab, where we share together and learn together. So yesterday while I was getting a haircut, I was talking to my hairstylist about this new YouTube channel. And I told her that I was looking for content, so I was looking for things to repair. And she had a set of hair clippers in her drawer. I think it's been about a year since they've worked. They're BaByliss Pro Clippers, and I think they're a couple $100. So I said, if you don't mind, I'd like to take them and see if I can repair them on the channel, and she agreed to it. So I brought them home last night, and we're going to try to repair them. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, here we have a set of hair clippers. I got a timer in the video just to show that I left them charging for a little over 40 minutes, and when I test them, they still don't operate. So we're going to open them up and see what's going on here. So we're going to take these 3 Phillips screws out of the bottom. Once we get the 3 screws out, we'll just set this piece to the side for safekeeping. Alright, and we'll just slide this little gold cover off the clippers to access some more screws. Alright, you can see there's 2 more Phillips screws at the bottom of the clippers. So removing those, and we'll also set those to the side. Now we're going to take the 2 screws from the clipper assembly and set this piece to the side as well. So I'll just take a brush here and brush some of the hair out of it, just make it easier to work on. Clean up some of the hair so workstation will be a little bit cleaner. Let's take this little cover here off. There's 2 more screws under this cover, as you can see here, so they're both Phillips as well. So once we take these 2 Phillips screws out, then the clippers will just come apart. Okay, you can see there's a circuit board and a motor here. So we'll just brush the circuit board off a little bit so we can see more clearly what's going on. Before I start really digging into the problem, I'd like to do a visual inspection of the board to see the condition and see if we can figure out what's going on here. So you'll see me just slowly moving the board back and forth under the microscope. I'm just looking at things here, looking at traces and solder joints and everything, just to see if there's anything obvious going on before we get too far into it. Everything looks pretty good here, so I'm just going to take my multimeter, check the battery voltage. Should be around 4 volts, and I'm getting about 0.3 volts, and that was after 40 minutes of charging. So don't like really what I'm seeing there. So I plug it in so I can measure the input voltage. Should get about 4.5 volts here on the input, and as you can see, I'm getting about 4.47 volts, which is what I would expect. So we're going to go ahead with the removal of the battery now. So I'm taking a solder sucker here. I'm just sucking most of the solder off the 2 battery terminal tabs so we can get the battery out. Now I'm just going to take a small screwdriver and take my soldering iron and heat the tab up and gently lift it up from the board without tearing any pads off. So you got to be gentle here, but just lifting the solder or lifting the battery tab up. We'll do that on the other side as well. We'll just take an X-Acto knife here and cut the little bit of glue that's holding the battery to the board. Then we'll go ahead and finish removing that battery from the circuit board. Now I'm putting it in the battery analyzer in slot 4. So we'll set the, it's already set for lithium ion, 2100 milliamps is what the battery is labeled. So we'll see if it'll take a charge with the battery analyzer. It's giving me an error. So I'm going to attempt to see if it'll maybe work with a discharge cycle. As you can see here, I'm getting the same error, so I'm going to go ahead and move on with putting another battery in the board. Went ahead and put it in, cutting the tabs off to the right length, taking my tweezers and pressing it down, adding a little bit of solder flux here that helps with the flow of solder, and then we're just going to tack it with a little bit of solder, and then we'll add additional solder to make the electrical connection that's needed. We'll do the same thing on the positive side, trim it, press it down with some tweezers, a little bit of flux, a little bit of solder, and then add some more solder until you get enough to get a good solid electrical connection. Here we'll take a little 99% isopropyl alcohol and we'll take it to the dentist. So we just use a little toothbrush here. I don't think we need to floss, not the circuit board anyway. So that's what I'm doing here, just cleaning it up, getting the flux off there. Here I'm just putting these little battery stickers to insulate the end of the batteries. Now we're going to put the circuit board and battery back in the housing. Plug the motor back up, tidy up the wires, put the housing together, put the two screws back in that's under the cover, bottom screws, put the little cover back over it, slide the housing back on, put the bottom back on, tighten the 3 screws. Now we'll test it. You can hear it, you can see it. We'll test it with power as well. So pretty much it just needed a battery replacement, and that battery was killing the clippers.